Hey,
Yeah.
Farron, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for giving me five.
Yeah.
All right. So where are you joining us from?
So I'm joining from the UK, from Warwick. So I'm an academic at the University of Warwick.
Awesome. Thank you for taking time to drop some knowledge on us. So let's just jump right on in. First question I have for you is, can you tell us about your journey to open source and why it matters to you?
Yeah, so I got into open source probably like 7 years ago or so. So for context, I did my PhD in applied maths. So I did a lot of modeling. And during my PhD, I didn't like coding very much because I wasn't good at it. I think it's because, well, it was one of those like, circle arguments. I wasn't very good at it because I like it, and I didn't like it because I wasn't very good at it. And then when I finished, took a postdoctoral position here at Warwick. Actually, it was on battery modeling, and that's about the time when PyBaMM, which is a battery modeling package that I'm contributing to, I'm maintaining, started. And I just happened to know well the creators because they were at the University of Oxford, so I know them for a while. And then I just gave it a go, and started learning about Python because I never programmed in Python before, about open source software, and I guess here I am, 7 years later.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And the fact that you started with PyBAM and you're still here with PyBAM and NumFOCUS, I'm curious as you reflect on that journey, what advice would you give your younger self or anyone new in this space looking to contribute to PyBAM or contribute to any other project that's in the NumFOCUS ecosystem?
I think I would say just give it a go and find a project that inspires you. Um, of course, this was like a bit of learning into the beginning and picking up what the project is about, but just give it a go. Engage on discussions on GitHub issues. Find an issue that it's an easy one. Say, hey, I would like to try that one, and communities are very, very supportive. So I think that's the best way of doing it, because I think you can do a lot of courses and training courses, and that's great, right? You need that basis, but I think it's actually when you start working on a project you understand it. And for example, I always put this example in the past. So when I started my PhD 12 years ago, I was taught about Git, right? How to use Git, version control, and so on. And I couldn't get my head around it. It's like, oh my God, this is so hard. I can't get my head around. And then when you start working on a project that it's structured and there's a lot of other people contributing, you start seeing the point of it. And it's by doing it that you learn. So yeah, I would say find a project that inspires you and just give it a go.
I love that. I love that advice. And sticking with inspiration and just projects that are driving us to keep innovating and being our best selves. I want to hear about what you're currently building right now and how the NumFocus community can support you.
Yeah, so I'm afraid my current role gives me less time than I would like to do the actual programming. But I think one of the PyBaMM is currently at a very interesting stage because, so for those of our listeners that don't know about PyBaMM, PyBaMM has a collection of battery models that can capture all sorts of physics, and then a set of tools that you can use to solve those models, and it's all integrated. And now I think we're at a pretty stable point, like in terms of the methods. And one of the things we're getting more and more, because that's what the battery research field is doing, is new models to account for new physics. It's very important in batteries to understand how long your battery is going to last before you charge it and it lasts only a couple of hours, right, before it hits this kind of end of life point. And we have a very vibrant community developing a lot of models. And the question is like, how can we enable community to share their models, but at the same time keeping PyBaMM easy to maintain for the maintainer team, because quite often the models on the backend are until now are quite fairly closely integrated, and it makes it very hard to maintain. And sometimes you have people bringing in a model, but that breaks these tests component arrays. So trying to make it in a way that it's very easy for our community, or it's much easier to engage, to share their models, to still retain some ownership on them, while the maintainer team can continue to ensure that PyBaMM works for everyone.
Well, folks, you heard it here. Theron himself, thank you so much for your time. And
Thanks for having me.
yeah, we greatly appreciate you for giving us five. One more time for the go.
Gimme 5 is a NumFOCUS production. Support open source software today by donating at numfocus.org.